Well, happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year and
Well,
welcome
we welcome you all into 2026.
2026.
So, welcome again to the Real Rundown in Real Estate. Welcome to the Real Rundown in Real Estate. I'm Jeanette Irvin with the Good Life RVA, and I am based in Richmond, Virginia.
I am Juanita Jackson with Kaizen Realty. I am service in Memphis, Tennessee, and Georgia.
So, the Real Rundown in Real Estate, where two real estate agents serving three different states, bringing you the real conversations buyers and sellers actually need.
From when it's a good time to buy, to steps to becoming a first time home buyer, to I'm ready to sell. What do I do now? Okay.
We break it all down. We cover market rates, home inspections, listing strategies, and everything in between without the fluff.
This is a space for real insight, real strategies, and real answers. We welcome your questions, your engagements, and also your curiosity because informed decision build confident homeowners. You trust us to bring you the real rundown in real estate.
Welcome to the Real Rundown in Real Estate.
That's right. And again, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
All right, Jeanette, what are we talking about today?
So, today we're going to be talking about the inspection report came back.
That's a good
So, should you run? We're going to talk about what's normal, some red flags, and what's negotiable. Okay. So, the first one, what's normal? Well, my opinion as a real estate agent based in Richmond, Virginia, every home, even new construction, has a list of findings and also need a home inspection.
Right.
What do you say down in Georgia and Tennessee?
Well, same thing, Jeanette. That no way should you ever purchase a property without an inspection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless you're an investor or something. Even still, even still, they do their due diligence before moving forward.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you have to have. I always recommend an inspection.
Okay. I 100% do as well. So this inspection, the inspection job is to point out everything, not just deal breakers. And that could be loose outlets, minor plumbing issues, or like little drips from the faucet, or worn caulking are very common things,
Right.
but they will still point those things out, and that do become a part of the report.
Right. And even I mean everything from if it was a fixture without light bulbs,
Mm-hmm.
that's even on the report. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes it this really long report because they put all these, I mean, every little thing on the report.
Yeah, right. I agree. Totally agree. And at the end of the day, but that's some of the normal things, right? What's normal? Those are some of the normal things. So one of the things we also talk about a long report because it will be a pretty lengthy report, probably more than 10 pages, more than 15 pages, sometimes more than 20 pages. But it does not mean you got a bad house.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it's a house, I mean, even like I said, with you mentioned even with a new home, a new home has just as many defects as a home that's been sitting for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact you got to know, even with the homes that are older homes, you're getting an older home.
Right.
So it's I'm gonna say, and I mean, I don't know if you agree. I mean, there's no perfect home.
It's not. It's not, whether it went up 5 minutes ago or 50 years ago. It is not a perfect home.
It's not a perfect home.
So those are some of the normal things that we wanted to share with you, that you need to be able to look for. Now we're going to go into maybe like a few of the red flags, Juanita, and we're talking about maybe safety and structural matters the most. And again, when you're looking at the normal things, a loan report just does not mean you have a bad house.
Right.
Okay. So those safety things, those foundational issues, red flags, I would say pay close attention to is like foundation movement or major cracks, like cracks you just cannot ignore.
Right. And cracks are a certain way. And I'm trying to remember how I mean, if it's going all the way, up the wall from the floor, then that may be a crack that you may want to look into, because that may be a foundation issue. Or it, could be, you got cracks because of the houses are still selling. So you got to have cracks from that. So like I said, an inspector can tell you, the difference between, what cracks to be concerned about versus, just some little crack because the house settles.
Correct. Yeah. I would also say one of the things that buyers should look for is the roof at the end of its life, or have active leaks that is happening.
Right. You that's a good one. You coming up with some great points. And and I didn't even think about that one, but because and then you got to think about two sellers. You have to have an inspector come out, because sellers cover those little things up that you can see from the inside. They can cover that up and paint over it.
Yeah.
But that inspector is going to really check that roof out.
And if there's any active leaks, because we get those the water stains in the roof, you put a little white paint over there and you don't see it for that day that you're going in. Another thing that we'll look at is electrical hazards, right? Knob and tube, double tapes, double taps, exposure wiring, all of these things. When we talk about the roofing, the foundation, the electrical, mold, or water intrusion, mold or water intrusion issues. These are major. We talk about safety, structure matters most.
Right. That's when you may want to talk about running. but those major things. You're right about that, Jeanette. I mean, you are really hitting on some good points here. I mean, things that they need to know, especially being a first-time home buyer. I mean, whether you're a first-time home buyer or you are, this is your 10th house, you have to. I mean, we're not telling you what you have to do, but we
strongly suggest,
only recommend that you have a home inspection.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to some of these issues. And if we see, or the inspectors see these structural issues, they are a safety concern. That's when your agent, the inspector, and but you have the final decision. You have the final say. That's when we will say, let's slow this down a little bit. Let's bring in another specialist to reassess.
Or you may decide, maybe to not move forward.
Yeah.
And those are decisions that you would have to make at that time, because that is the window in the contract where you can walk away from the deal and not lose your earnest money.
But if you like or you love that house, I would say serious issues still don't mean walk away.
Right. That is, that is a deal breaker. Right. Exactly.
But they do.
Right. Because the seller may agree to correct those things.
Yeah. With the professional in that field.
Right.
But they do mean take a deeper evaluation now. We're not just going to be, let's move forward. No. It will mean serious issues. Again, don't mean walk away, but it will mean that we need to take a deeper evaluation at these things. Now, once we get that evaluation and it is some real major defects, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about it. And that is your time to
because we only have that window.
Yeah.
When we have to make that decision. I mean, are we to stay or to run away?
Yeah. So, that's right. Stay or run away. But that is exactly what we're going to come. We're going to stay or run away. You know.
Anyway, I mean, Jeanette, those were some really, really good pointers tonight. Really good. And
thank you.
That, thank you. The people that are listening, the buyers and the sellers that are listening, got something out of what we just discussed today.
And one of the things I think as great agents, we want to share. We want to let people know, like some of that back end stuff that no one else may tell them about. So we want to. The purpose of the rundown of real estate is really having those strong conversations, right?
Right.
So my third point, and if you want to go to a fourth one, that's fine. But my third point is the maintenance versus major repairs. Maintenance versus major repairs.
Right.
Now, HVACs can be major or it can be a minor repair. If it's been serviced as needed, chances are you're going to have some minor. But even if one of the things I've learned in doing this, and that even means if it's a 15-year-old unit. So sometimes those older units that was back then are some of the best units versus what we get today. Some of them old steel units, they're some of the best one as long as it has been maintained and serviced.
Right. But and the important thing too about that, Jeanette, to know how old is the unit.
Yes.
Because they lose the warranty.
Yep.
And then if it's a certain age anyway, regardless, things are man-made. It has to be day. So, but and I want to say this, even if it's an old unit, like you said, the ones that that works really great. If it's in working condition,
right? Great point.
At the time that the inspector comes out, that's not to say, oh, I want the seller to replace the unit that's in working condition.
That's correct.
And as much as we want to get the buyer everything that they want, we still want to be reasonable.
Right. And like the one thing that I say when we going into a home, especially a resale home, and the units are older, and I'm saying more than 10 years old, also ask the seller for a warranty, right? That would at least give them some kind of sense of security for a year. And if the seller says no, I will probably give them a warranty. One of the things that I could possibly do as a closing gift for my clients, if the units in their home, right, are more than 10 years old or more, and I know it's a first-time home buyer and they just don't have that money, part of my closing gift would probably be a home warranty for a year. That home warranty would really give them some sense of peace of mind, at least for a year. So that could be possibly one of an agent. I know I've done it, gifting them a home warranty for 1 year as a gift. And that gives them peace of mind for a year. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Which is a great, if that's the case, that would be a great gift, to the buyers. And that way, if the things stop working the next month, you can either get it replaced or repaired.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it just brings some sense of, peace that unit is not going to die and they're going to be out of $5,000 or $6,000,
exactly.
And within a year.
Right.
Yeah. So we talked about the HVAC, and that's a big piece. No matter where you are, Georgia, Tennessee is hot.
Yes.
Virginia is hot.
Okay.
It's hot. So we need our AC.
Right. In the South, it gets pretty hot here.
Yeah.
It's really hot, humid.
Yeah. So the other point is older water heaters still working. When they're still working, is it maintenance or is it a major repair?
Exactly.
The aging roof, we talked about that. With years left.
Right.
Cosmetic wear tear. And let's talk about what would be some of the things that you would see as you tell them it's just normal wear and tear, cosmetic. What would be some of those examples?
I would say really like maybe like what I've seen even on the oven. Maybe a burner.
Yes.
A burner that's just maybe needs to place out a little part or something. So that's little, wear and tear, something very minor to be fixed. And I'm trying to think about something else, Jeanette.
One of the things I think about is the carpet, right?
Oh,
yeah, the carpet wear and tear.
Yeah,
you don't have to keep it. Pull it up. Put some LVP down. You know. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is like the carpet.
The carpet, yeah, that's wear and tear. I'm just blank. you know what? Like the faucet,
yeah,
they need
the fixtures,
fixtures, like for the faucet, those little things, is what I think about. Things that you can like visually see a lot of times that and maybe I'm gonna just say the paint color.
Okay. Yep. It used to be white, but now it's yellow.
Right, with the fingerprints or just even the color. They make wallpaper. I mean, wallpaper is back out now.
Yeah, wallpaper is definitely coming back.
Yeah, the wallpaper's come back now, but I'm not talking about today's wallpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wallpaper from
this old wear and tear.
1970, 1980.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on and leave that wallpaper back there in the 70s.
Yeah, those are just, just because that's just cosmetic, really. Those things are just cosmetics. So, but a lot of times, but like, of course, wallpaper and all that's not gonna be on the report, but
right. So here's an example, right? That we look at. I look at that AC because the AC out of all these things that we talked about is probably the most major, issue. But a 12-year-old unit, AC unit, still working, isn't a crisis.
It's
not.
Right. I say
a future planning item.
Is actually major.
Yeah. So you got to be able to plan for it in the future, because if it only has a 20-year lifespan and is 15 years already, you got to know that and start putting things to the side. But again, also the first line of defense for me is always asking for a home warranty.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So homes age, deferred maintenance is common and it is manageable. So that will be the key message on that, is the maintenance versus major repairs. So we talked about an inspection report is information, not a verdict, right? A long report does not mean a bad house. We talked about safety and structure. It matters most. Serious issues don't mean walk away.
Right.
But they do mean we need to take a deeper evaluation.
And I know we got to wrap this up, Jeanette, but did we even touch like on electrical?
We did say we didn't touch on it a lot, but we did mention electrical hazards.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a major one too.
Exposed wiring. We mentioned that. We mentioned the knob and the tubes, and double taps and all of these things that the electrical people, the light flickering, like all of those things. We did mention that, but we didn't go into great detail.
Right. And okay. I just wanted to, before we got off of here, I definitely wanted to, that was one of the ones came to mind. I'm like, did we even touch on that? Because that's a major one too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, the ones that I look at major is that 100% foundation.
Yeah.
The roof. These are big expenses. The roof, the electrical, and in that electrical, I'm going to add the HVAC system.
Exactly.
So those would be the top 3 major things that I would say when we're looking for that home inspection and we're talking about major defects. Those would be the 3 things that I'm looking for.
Right. Exactly.
And don't let me forget. I'm sorry, I'm gonna add a 4th one: mold.
Oh yeah, mold. Yeah, mold. And then you know what? And you foundation too.
Yeah, the foundation was the first one.
Yeah,
foundation, the roof, electrical, which also includes the HVAC, and then I'm gonna say mold and or water intrusion.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Those
would be the top 4 for me.
Yeah, definitely. Those are the major top 4s. Yeah.
Yeah. And so to close it out, we did talk about the maintenance versus major. Again, a 12-year-old unit that is in still working condition is not a crisis. It's just not. It just means we need to make a future plan. And that may means the moment you close, get in a home warranty or get in that home warranty asked for in the contract, right? And as part of the repair addendum, and then a home's age deferred maintenance is common, but it's also manageable. Okay. Those are our nuggets for the real rundown in real estate. We hope something we said today will be able to encourage you to still understand the home inspection. When the home inspection come back, should you run? Or is it normal? What are some of those red flags? And what's some of the things we can negotiate?
That's right. We thank you guys for watching today. And until next week, thank you for watching The Real Rundown in Real Estate. I'm Juanita Jackson with Kaizen Realty, servicing Memphis, Tennessee, surrounding areas, and Georgia.
And I'm Jeanette Irvin with the Good Life RVA in Richmond, Virginia.
Until next week.
See y'all.